Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabansi. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we have a very crazy show for you guys. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel, and be sure to hit all notifications to be notified the moment we publish our content. Let me get into this story here. This is a story that, if I'm being honest with you, I don't even understand why this thing is becoming such a big thing. As you guys know, recently, Angel Reese and her basketball team, they lost, in the college competition that they were playing to Caitlin Clark in Iowa, right? I think she plays for LSU. So she lost in that game. And during the post-game interview, she started talking about some of the hate and the threats and the things that people were saying, her being sexualized, etc. And some people like myself said, at a moment like this, man, just accept your loss and go home and come back next year, right? This is not the time. Now, her and Caitlin Clark are both notorious trash talkers and all of that, so they have that in common, right? But in a moment like that, people didn't want to hear that. So that's the show we put out, and then we did another. And as well in that show, we gave our thoughts about other pertinent issues. Well, I wasn't really following this story very closely beyond the show that we produced, but apparently this story actually started to turn into something very big. Why? Because apparently what took place was on Speak for Yourself, the FS1 show, this Fox Sports 1 show. You had Emmanuel Acho on the show. You had Joy Taylor. You had LaShawn McCoy. And you had James Jones. And apparently during that segment, Emmanuel Acho decided to weigh in on Angel Reese's post-game interview. And apparently what happened was he went out there and gave his sentiments. And after he said what he said, for whatever reason, it started to create this insane amount of backlash towards him. So for those of you who didn't hear Emmanuel Acho's original comments, we want to play it for you now. And then when I come back and continue on the show, take a listen to what he had to say here.
I'm about to give a gender-neutral, racially indifferent take. Now, if you want to say, well, Acho, cater your take based upon gender, Acho, cater your take based upon race, I will understand that. But I'm about to give a gender-neutral, racially indifferent take. Angel Reese, you can't beat a big bad wolf, but then kind of cry like Courage the Cowardly Dog. Because if you want to act grown, which she has, if you want to get paid like you grown, which you are, if you want to talk to grown folks like you grown, which you did post-game when you told a coach for an opposing team, watch your mouth. If you want to tell people, get your money up, then post-game when you take an L, you just got to take it on the chin. Nobody mourns when the villain catches an L. And Angel Reese, you have self-proclaimed to be the villain. Shout out to you, because you were the second best basketball player on the court, and it was not close. Outside of Caitlin Clark, it was you. 17 and 20, dog. Showed up, biggest game, second biggest game of your career. Absolute dog. But you can't, under any circumstance, go to the podium and now try to ask for individuals to give you sympathy. No one has sympathy for the villain. You painted the bullseye on your back. Why are you surprised when people shoot at you? So if you want to act grown, if you want to pose grown, if you want to talk grown, if you want to talk to grown folks grown, then you got to take the L like you grown. Because what frustrated me is when you want to be the villain, but you want to hope for sympathy like a hero.
So those were his comments, right? Those were his comments. I didn't see the big hoopla. Now, maybe he said, maybe the one thing that he said, he mentioned a line at the beginning of, I forgot what he said, but maybe some people could take exception to that, whatever. But apparently what happened was, after he put out those comments, various voices like Matt Barnes, like Ryan Clark, and all of these people on the internet, I think even Roland Martin, all of these people on the internet started to go after Emmanuel Acho for what he said, to the point where he had to go out there and put out a public statement to basically say he spoke to Matt Barnes. I forgot who else he spoke to, Ryan Clark. And after they reprimanded him nicely on the phone, he came to the conclusion that, what he said was wrong. And I'm like, wait, what? Wait a minute. I'm like, wait a minute. What's going on here? So then, as it turns out, I then find out that, wait a minute, because I as I said, I didn't hear his comments originally. During that same segment, on that panel, after Emmanuel Acho spoke, do you guys know that the very next person who spoke was James Jones? And he said the exact same thing, but he even went further than what Emmanuel Acho said. And then LaShawn McCoy went right after him, and he said the same thing Emmanuel Acho and James Jones said, and nobody's coming for them. So for those of you who didn't hear what they had to say, because they said even more than Emmanuel Acho, we want to play it for you now, and then we're going to really get into the meat and potatoes of this show. Take a listen to that there.
So for me, number one, when you did that, you brought all this attention to yourself, which is cool. Angel Reese has been a blessing to girls basketball. People tune in to girls basketball to watch her, and she's brought a lot of eyes to women's basketball. Number one, by the way she plays, but number two, by the way she's been acting.
More of that.
And when you act like that, number one, people want to see you lose.
True.
Correct.
When you act like that, it's some people that want to see you win, but most of the people want to see you lose. I think about the Floyd Mayweathers. You were going to pay for his fight, but 90% of the people are paying for the fight to see him lose. Because the way he talked in interviews, because the way he showboated in the ring, all of that. People wanted to see Floyd lose. So for me, Angel Reese has done so much for the game of basketball. But you have brought a lot of attention on yourself. After this game, if they would have won, she would not have came out and been crying at the podium like this. So for me, I feel like, what you feeling? I don't care about you sharing it with the public. I just think this wasn't the right time because you've been such the villain. You can't jump up there right after the game and do this. Now, if you would have waited a couple weeks or whatever, or did that with your teammates, your coach or whatever, that's all good. But you cannot be the super villain, like they are saying, giving people L's, waving people bye-bye, because you have brought that. You said in your own interviews, we dogs over here, this is how we do it in LSU. They do it in TikToks. They do it in all that, and I'm for it. But you got to be able to accept the criticism that comes with it, especially after you lose a game.
I think all the attention that she's really getting is from the things that she's doing outside of basketball.
She's a baller, too, though.
I mean, I hear you, right? Yeah. But if I talked about Caitlin or I talked about Juju, they games is on another level where they gonna do their own talking. So they got the same attention from their game compared to Angel Reese. More of hers is just the stuff that she's doing. Because I think she's a good player. I don't think she's nothing special like them other girls. Can we all agree on that?
She ain't Juju or Caitlin.
Ain't even close. But what I'm saying, she got the same amount of height. Then why you think that is?
Maybe more.
You get what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying about her. And I will say this, though. So I don't know if we got another block or not, but can we go to that coach, the head coach? Or are we waiting to that?
Wait, we'll get there.
Okay.
So these guys, James Jones, Shady McCoy, kept it 100. Now, again, Shady doesn't fully know what he's talking about. Angel Reese is 6'3". Caitlin Clark is 6 foot. Juju Watkins is 6'2". He hasn't watched much basketball. They're all being forced to talk about this without having watched much of it. But he's 1,000% accurate. Anybody that watches Angel Reese play, yeah, she's 6'3", and she can get some putback shots, but there's nothing special about her.
So you heard what the gentleman had to say there. Yesterday, I decided to put up a post on a community section on the channel. This must have been, I'm going to just assume less than 10 hours or so ago, where essentially I said, all of these people going for Acho, why aren't you going at LaShawn McCoy and James Jones? They said the exact same thing on the show. The exact same thing. And as a matter of fact, they said even more. But for whatever reason, Emmanuel Acho is being singled out. Now I want to read some of the commentary because I'm open to people having different views than mine and allowing them to speak, and I don't even mute them. Unfortunately, some of these people cannot do the same. Let me read what one person said. If you cry about losing a game in the post-game conference, you should expect to be laughed at. Like, come on. We laughed at Jordan crying, Joel Embiid crying, and countless others. Equality, baby girl. Another person said, there's always been an underlying cultural beef between Africans and Black Americans, and I think that plays a part in what you're talking about. Plus, Acho has said things before that have gone viral on social media. Another person said, Acho's a buck dancer. Another person said, bodies fall when they fall. Don't worry about the other two. Just be glad headshots went off on Acho for his disrespect, and you and them can be next. Don't worry about why they didn't go at them. Just be glad it wasn't you. Take the cape off. We riding with Angel Reese. Now keep it up, Dreamers Pro, and you can easily take Acho's place with the target sign. All righty then. Now, another person said, because Acho is a tether who went crying to the white man and got wildly dismissed. Do your Googles, Charles. And then another person said, you right. People pick and choose who they mad at. And then another person said, because he is talking in a disrespectful way towards Black Americans. So this was a commentary. Another person in there said, no, another person called me an immigrant and all kind of crazy stuff. I'm noticing that we have a serious problem in society today, a very, very serious one. The problem is the following. We have people within society that is making it their business to attack people who don't share the same views as them. That's the first problem. The second problem is they also have this expectation that you must agree with them. And if you don't agree with them, then you need to be publicly flogged. And I'm sure there's some people that would actually want to do that physically. Here's what I don't understand in all of this. Emmanuel Acho gave his opinion. This is how, let me tell you how I'm viewing this story. A subject matter was brought up to him. He gave his opinion. Are you telling me that Acho is not allowed to have an opinion? Wait a minute. This is like some censorship. You know what? The guy cannot have an opinion? I'm confused because he gave his opinion. It's not enough for you to say, I disagree with your opinion. But now you want him to retract his statements and say what you want him to think? What kind of world are we living in right now? Who are the people advocating for this? Number one. Number two, I'm going to go back to the point I stated where I said people are picking and choosing. You see, what I'm realizing is people are not upset about what Emmanuel Acho said. There are a lot of hypocrites here. A lot of these people that are running around hollering and screaming, they're all hypocrites. They're not upset about what he said. They're upset about who said it. That's the fact of the matter. All of these people talking about, oh, I'm protecting my black sister, or my sister, and all of this bull. Oh, I'm protecting her. So why did your protection only stop? Or why did your protection only kick in when it came with Emmanuel Acho? Why didn't you go after LaShawn McCoy? Why didn't you go after James Jones? Here's what I think. In my personal view, I think that they saw or see Emmanuel Acho as a sucker. I'm going to give you guys the exact reality on what I think and the underlying tone here. I think they think Emmanuel Acho is a sucker. And they think that, oh, he fooled. He's a green light. So we're gonna go at him. We're gonna call him up. We're going to tell him, nah, you need to be thinking like this. You need to be thinking like that. And because he's a sucker, he's soft. He's going to be like, yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I get you. Instead of just hanging up the phone. But they knew if they went at LaShawn McCoy or they went at James Jones, they wasn't going to have it. That's what's going on here. They found somebody that they think is food. And they're going to go at him. And then they're going to get him to apologize for having his opinion. What in the world is going on here? You're not allowed to have your opinion in 2024? You're not allowed to have your opinion in 2024. He needs to go apologize for saying what he thought? And then you got all of these people running around talking about, oh, you don't understand because Emmanuel Acho, he's not from America. So therefore, he doesn't get it. So what about these other two? This is why you can't take, you see, here's what's happening. And I'm going to call it like it is. Whoever going to unsubscribe, go unsubscribe. Whoever going to unsubscribe, go unsubscribe because you wasn't rocking with me anyway. We can draw the line here. You want to bounce, be out. Trust and believe. There are billions of people in the world. I don't need your views. The fact of the matter is they're going at Emmanuel Acho because he has foreign descent. Because if they was truly tight about what he said, they would have went at LaShawn McCoy and James Jones. Why y'all not going at him? They can't answer it. They're trying to say the reason he said it is because he's not from the States, but they are. So explain. Number one. Number two, there are a lot of people from the States that agree with them. What's your point? There is no point. They just saw it as an opportunity to try to sun him. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to sun him. And he going for it. They trying to sun him. We've all met people like this. All of us, everywhere in the world, we met people like this. You know, those people that try to give themselves the right that, oh, I'm gonna come to you and I'm gonna take you under my wing and I'm gonna explain, man, out of here. What's wrong with you? I don't need no man telling me how to see the world. I'm a grown ass man. I'm turning 37 years old this year. I got my own father. I don't need no man around the world telling me, yo, this is how you got to see the world. Out of here. I'm not looking up to no dude to show me the way. I'm a grown man with responsibilities, with a family. I don't need some dude, unless you're a mentor. That's one thing. But I don't need you teaching me the way. Go teach your kids the way. Go teach your son the way. Go teach your daughter the way. Don't come and teach me the way. And that's what Emmanuel Acho would have been like, yo, like, what are you talking about right now? You trying to explain that to me. Go tell that to somebody else. Hang up the phone. What's going to happen? You meet them in real life. They're going to feel a type of way. And then what? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Okay, they want to fight you. Then you fight. What will happen after that? Nothing. If you whoop them or they whoop you, so what? You stood your ground as a man and you said, no, I'm going to say what I believe and you're not going to sun me. Period. You're a man. Don't be letting no other dude come up to you and try to explain the world to you and how you need to be looking at the world and how you need to look at issues. He's just a man like you. He don't have all the answers. But if you have a father in your life and you have male figures in your life, why are you sitting around taking advice and letting people talk, like try to sun you? Like they got the answers when they don't. And that's what happened. They thought he was food and they went for, that's what I saw. I saw them trying to basically sun him and they singling him out. And they not keeping the energy across the board because LaShawn McCoy and James Jones said the same thing and nobody's commenting about it. Because they're picking and choosing. Don't ever let any of these dudes run around and tell you how to live your life as a man. If you have your father in your life, let your father be your guidance if he's a responsible man. Don't let no other man come, especially somebody 2 or 3 years older than you and somebody your age group come and explain life to you like they got life figured out. Please don't let that be you. Be your own man. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please. And whoever feel a type of way, it is what it is. Unsubscribe. It is what it is. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comment section. We catch you guys on the next show. Peace.